Last session, you found yourselves guests at the Grand Fizzbang estate, joining Fizzi's family for an elaborate dinner. The opulence was notable, with even your unique heights catered to. Tensions from earlier concerning Fizzi's departure resurfaced, though dinner momentarily eased them. Conversations flowed, touching upon RaRa's dancing talents, Moss's mysterious origins and Ashen, which piqued Bolton's interest, and Kayth's past. Bolton, Fizzi's father, spoke of his pride in Fizzi's ventures, but also his hopes for Fizzi to utilize his inventive talents at home. The meal was a multi-course marvel, featuring salads, choices of clockwork-crusted snapper, and braised sky lamb, and spindle cakes dusted with gold leaf. During dinner, the topic of Commodore Saltwind stepping down arose, along with discussions about her potential successors, including the controversial Vorin Duskbrow. Do it every time. Vorin Duskbrow.
Bro, brother.
Controversial
Politics, baby!
Vorin Duskbrow. Bolton's health seemed a quiet concern, particularly to Moss and RaRa, who noticed him coughing into a distinct red napkin. Later, Fizzi had a heartfelt, if initially tense, conversation with his brother Gimlet, who expressed his feelings of abandonment and the burden of responsibility since Fizzi left. Fizzi tried to explain his need to make his own name, while the other companions settled into lavish guest rooms. Fizzi sought out his parents, pressing his mother, Fizztina, about her earlier worries. She confessed that a drone built from one of Fizzi's old scrap designs called Tin Whisper had been observing their home and was found carrying a payload, a crowburst, Fizzi's dangerous, unreleased shrapnel grenade. More alarmingly, they discovered many of Fizzi's old blueprints had been copied from their secure workshop. Fizzi and Kayth investigated the damaged drone, finding a crystal recording images of the family and a non-functional payload slot for the crowburst grenade. You realized numerous designs, including an early Earthshaker cannon, had been copied via a magical method Kayth recognized. The next morning, after a brief, tense discussion where Fizzi learned his friends suspect his father is ill, you all headed to the Tide Hall in Sebres to hear the speeches of the Commodore candidates, Brinnick Trunchtop, Lady Yasha Marinth, and the polarizing Vorin Duskbrow, whose call for regulation stirred the crowd as the session concluded. Who's taking old Fizzbang designs? Does Duskbrow not like the Fizzbangs? Who is Mava? Find out tonight on Coralthea, Waking Fates.
For will rise, their fates entwined, brave and bold. Through the storm and through the night, we'll carve our path, we'll claim our rights. With hearts of fire and minds so clear, we'll chase our dreams, our time is here. From humble beginnings, our journey's begun. We'll fight as one till the battle's won.
And we're back, guys. A lot of messages in here I didn't go through yet. What is going on, guys? So, again, last we left off... Hold on, I'm gonna burp. Nope, I'm good. Last we left off, the Stormbreakers, along with Gimlet, had went down to the Tide Hall in Sebres to hear the speeches from the Commodore candidates. And Vorin Duskbrow had just finished his speech, which incited a lot of roar and excitement and a little bit of mix of angst and just a huge uproar in the entire sort of people here listening to the speeches. This man, no matter how you feel about him, does incite something in people.
Yeah,
And
he don't like earth shakers.
he don't like rump shakers.
Anyway, I love rump shakers.
Anyway, so as the speech is ending, Gimlet sort of starts to move ahead of you guys, and he will sort of gesture as to move around the crowd in a way that you guys can get out before everyone sort of crowds everything. And while you guys are moving towards whatever the next thing he's trying to bring you to is, he'll say, "So, what did you all think of the speeches?"
Oh, that Duskbro guy really hates you. I mean, your family, I mean. And
Yeah.
Vengeance.
He really didn't seem to have a stick up his ass about our family.
Oh, why am I losing what I wanted to say?
Shocked into silence.
I like the lady.
No, I don't think he hates our family. No, he just wants to bring order and sort of give us all purpose. I mean, Fizzi, you've created a lot of things that, can be quite dangerous. Vorn just wants to make sure that those things are in place to make sure that stuff like that doesn't get out. He's not looking to squash our creativity.
Nothing squashes creativity like regulation.
That's what it sounded like to me, brother.
You can hold every bureaucrat at wrench point. Not everyone trying to bring order is your enemy.
We'll see.
I think.
I suppose we will.
I liked the lady. She seemed like she had similar points to what you're saying, but was less aggressive about it.
Well, Lady Yasha.
Yeah.
Lady Yasha is. Well, she's
Very
a great.
milk and white bread.
She's very steady hand, but she doesn't really have real vision for the city. She definitely would be able to take care of us and have, a sense of order and respect, but she just has no real vision for what's going on. In my opinion, at least.
Sorry,
In
so
my
you think the
opinion,
man who
yes.
hates your family is the one with the most vision?
Yeah.
Again,
The
he
one
does
that,
not
one that
hate-
specifically shit on my
Oh.
cannon.
He does
That
not.
guy.
He does not hate our family. And yes, he did take a jab at the Earthshaker cannon. You do have to admit, it is a very dangerous thing.
I
Is it
actually don't
not?
know much about the Earthshaker cannon.
It is a weapon, Fizzi, and it does do great destruction. But I feel like what was her name again?
We
Milk
get it,
toast.
Kayth. You really like this woman.
No, I feel like she said similar things to what he was saying, but also didn't feel like she would overstep it. I feel like that man seems like he would overstep the restrictions on the technology the city comes to love. And what
The
And,
first
uh,
guy seemed fun.
Yeah, the Earthshaker cannon is dangerous. But last time I checked, that helped defend us against pirates.
I'm not saying you're wrong, Fizzy, and I'm not saying that the Earthshaker cannon isn't a marvel in design itself. It's just about thinking about the future and being safe and cautious. Because, just like you know, many inventions can go awry and cause serious problems.
Sorry, what do you invent? You specifically?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I've invented many of things. I usually,
Right.
therefore, well, I've created the tray levitation. I have created many of different tools that are used in the trade today in order to make lives better for the workers. I've been able to create a shield protection for miners to help with any cave-ins, to keep them alive for a certain amount of time to allow rescuers to save them. That one's one of my favorite.
I think that in the wrong hands, any tool could be a weapon.
I'm sure it can.
But Fizzy, yours is a weapon. I can only
Yeah.
defend you so much.
No, you're right. It is a weapon.
That was awesome. Well, either way, politics can get tricky. So before we get into all-out disputes here in the middle of the Tide Hall courtyard, we should move on. I wanted to show you where all of the inventions are going to be, and maybe meet some of the inventors who have come long ways, and if we get a chance, maybe actually get to talk to the candidates if they're anywhere nearby, if you're interested.
Don't see
I've
why
been
not.
told that I'm socially awkward, so perhaps I should not talk to any candidates. I also
Why?
don't want to.
Well, the only way you're gonna get better is with practice.
I think you missed the second part. I also don't want to.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. It was just only a suggestion, that's all. So with that, you guys will continue to west wing it towards the next sort of area that Gimlet wanted to show you. And that is the public display grounds, essentially is what this area is called. And as you guys, it's actually within the Rattlepipe row, like it's a part of that, which is over here. So you guys move from the Tide Hall to down in this direction. And when you get there, you start to see like just lines and rows of booths. It very much kind of looks like a convention, essentially, but it's outside. And there are, lines and lines of booths of people who are here with their great inventions. Now, you'll hear clanging and zipping and electric, and you'll hear grinding. You'll smell a bit of smoke, a bit of lavender, a bit of just kind of everything. I mean, there's a lot of things sort of going on as you come into this area, and it's a bit loud. I'm also gonna pull up this. There we go.
It's a little loud in here.
And as you guys enter to the area, Gimlet will sort of raise his hand towards the public display grounds, and so this is where all of the inventors and engineers and inventors are coming for the Centennial, and they've all come here from far away, and for the last 2 or 3 days, people have actually been able to set up early and start displaying a bit of their things. But a lot of them are keeping things to their chest, to save for tomorrow. But a lot of the inventors are here to meet now if you wanted to, or at least see some things that are going on. But there's so many this year, Fizzi. As he, looks towards it, there's tons of booths. I mean, if you look down one row, you see probably 15 on either side. So like if you look down one row, there's 15 on this side and 15 on this side. And there's about like six rows to go through. So that would be 15 times 7. I want to say. That might
180. No, 30 times 6 is 180.
So yeah, there's like almost 200 inventors here.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm actually going to have to work on something really quick and be right back, but if you guys want to walk around and just explore for a moment, I can catch back up with you.
Sure.
All right. Sounds good. And he'll head off towards what looks like some important people in other robes, maybe other committee members. And you guys now have the sort of floor to walk around and meet some people if you'd like. But obviously the grand old question is, what would you guys like to do? Yes,
Fizzi, I
May?
think that
With your hand raised?
Go ahead.
Because she was like this first, and I was wondering if it was to Moose or if it was to...
Moss would like to find the most interesting / chaotic inventor.
Okay. Kayth, what were you wanting to say?
Fizzi, I think that we should look into the possibility that the man that is running for Commodoreship is also some way involved with stealing your plans.
I can see that. Would Gimlet be talking to any of the people in the running for Commodore, or would he be with the council, the council members, board members?
Right now,
Yeah.
you saw him walk over to some other fancy people who look like how he's dressed, so you have to assume there are other people on the committee currently. Like that's who he's
committee.
Yeah, that's who he's like talking with right now.
That's the word I couldn't remember. Yeah, it looks that way, Kayth, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, I kind of want to go through and see if any of these look like something that I may have made, or something that is distinctively Fizzbang.
Okay, because if I were to, landslide a voting race on the position of inventions may be dangerous and go too far, what I would do is I would take plans and make them and have them be dangerous in town. And then point the finger at the person who made them.
That's not bad. Might be a little too chaotic for me, but we'll see.
All we have to do is find an
what I'm
Earthshaker
saying
cannon.
is I think that plan is happening to you right now.
Oh,
From the guy that is running on the platform to become
I
Commodore
understand
on
now.
machines are dangerous, and he pointed at the Earthshaker cannon specifically. And now old plans of the Earthshaker cannon, old plans of other things are going missing. If he's the one taking them and making them, he can throw those kinds of machines under the bus and get into power.
Well, we could always try to find out where he lives and see if those plans have been copied there.
I would love to break and enter with you, Fizzi. There's nothing I would love more.
Might have to have Opie sit this one out. I don't think he can be quiet. Sorry, Opie.
I thought you guys were gonna keep talking, so never mind, I can say this out loud. I was about to message Moss with what she sees. So while you guys are walking and Kayth and Fizzi are talking, Moss, you're you're kind of listening, but you're scanning. You're sort of looking around, trying to see what you can find. And what jumps out at you is you see this purple-skinned gnome, and he has this blown back hair. Like his hair is like just permanently blown back. And he's wearing these goggles with 6 different lenses on it. And his robes have a bunch of warning labels on it in different languages.
That one.
And as you get closer, you hear like little bits of humming coming from him.
Hello?
You're gonna say hello, and they're gonna look up at you, and you're gonna see their goggles and all that stuff. And hello. How can I help you? Have you come to see some of my things?
Yeah, what are you working on? Why does your vest say warning?
Oh well, it's because I'm dangerous.
Okay, what are you working on?
Right now? Well, my inventions. No, you probably want specifics. And he'll also look over and see. Are you guys with her?
If Moss
Yeah,
was
we're in
not
a group.
Fizzi probably
Okay.
would as well.
Okay, so if you guys are sort of with her, he'll Mr. Fizzi Fizzbang, I presume?
That's me. And you are?
It is nice to meet you. I am Glippet Boomwhistle. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Fizzi will extend his hand for a handshake.
He will. He'll just reach out his hand and he'll shake your hand. Well, no, wait. You guys are both gnomes, so it's the same size hand. But his skin's purple. You know, he seems like he's potentially a deep gnome. And he'll shake your hand and, so, you've come to see some of my inventions, did you? And you said I stood out because of my robes, you said? Yes? Looking towards you?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I am going to cause a few explosions.
I don't really do explosions, but I think you'll like some of the things I have. So, what should we show first?
It's not candy, is it?
No, I don't do candy. No. I used to make reverse soap though, but I was told I wasn't allowed to make that anymore.
Just
Reverse soap like it makes you dirty?
No,
Yeah.
not you. You would use the soap and get clean and clear the grime. But then it would teleport the grime to a nearby noble.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. But they told me I couldn't make it anymore.
How does it know who a noble is?
Oh, it knows, just like you and I.
Do you have any of that?
No, I don't have any more reverse soap. Like I said, I was told to have to get rid of it. They burned all of my supply, and I had to digress.
How can you burn soap? Doesn't it just melt and you can make it soap again?
Could I
It's
just
magic
make it
soap.
soap again? That's like asking a great painter to just paint over what he did. Come on.
But you could.
I mean, sure I could, but no, I wasn't. It's about the principle. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
maybe Shadowbrow is right.
who's Shadowbrow?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
What were you saying?
But, however, for the things I did bring for the Centennial, goes underneath the counter and then grabs something, pulls it out, plops it on the counter, real, just bam. And you will see a sort of helmet that has, so his goggles have a bunch of different, like, long lenses. This is like a helmet with a bunch of lenses. There's lenses that go to the front, to the side, to the back.
This guy
There's
loves lenses.
all different types of lenses on this. And he says, I call this the Prism. Stands for Plausible Reality Inversion Stabilization Matrix. Would you like to give it a try?
I don't know what you said.
Yeah, what does it do? I'm not gonna try it unless I know what it does.
Well, you know how we can see things, hear things, taste things, touch things, all of that?
Yeah.
Imagine if you could taste what you see, or hear what you touch.
So you essentially made synesthesia.
How do you know that word, boss?
Yeah, what the fuck? Who are you?
What?
that May
I've been
or
in
was
your
that
library.
Say that again.
I've been hanging out in your library a lot.
I'm just impressed.
Oh.
I'm just impressed.
Well, I guess if you know what it is, then you would want to try it. Because you said you'd only try it if you knew what it did.
Okay, but don't make me taste anything.
Well, you only have to do what you want to do.
Okay.
You don't
Okay.
want to taste some reverse soap through your eyes?
No.
So he'll hand you the helmet, he'll put it on your head, he'll strap you in. All right. What sense do you want to mess with?
Why? No. Why?
All right, how about
why
this?
say
This
it
is
like that?
this is a fun one. And he'll flip a lens down.
Wait,
and
I didn't answer. Why are you pushing buttons?
a lens will flip down over your ear, and then a lens will flip down over your eye. And
Wait, is now a good time to tell you I have sensitive ears?
I'm sure this will be fine. And as he does it and it whoosh, engages, you'll start looking around and there are all these different like colors and shapes and like all kinds of stuff all around. And you're seeing sound. So as people are yelling, you're seeing like loud reverberations of like red. As people whisper, you see, soft lines of blue. As people jump, you see like little splats of like yellow each time they hit the ground. All types of different stuff as you look around.
That's cool, but like, why?
Well, because why not? Imagine the applications for someone with disabilities. Someone who is, deaf. They can now see when there is sound. Or someone who can't taste with their mouth. They can now taste with their eyes. Just imagine what the world could do with this. Now, however, it is big and clunky, and that's what I'm working on. But just imagine with your brain. Are you doing it?
I mean, when you put it that way, I think what you're doing here is really great.
I know.
Oh.
I know.
Okay.
You want to see what else I have? And he takes the helmet off and he puts it down. This next one's pretty cool. I like it myself. It's called the Chain Reaction Snack Cannon.
Snacks?
He does have candy.
No candy. I don't do candy.
Snacks?
Next? Oh, and the last thing I brought is
No. Snack?
Oh, you said snack. See, if I was wearing the helmet, I would have been able to hear that better.
You mean see it better?
Yeah. Immediately turns away and goes for the cannon. Brings out this little little turret that sits on the table, like it's stationary wherever you put it, and he goes, "All right, have you ever played that game where you throw food in the air and you catch it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Get
love
ready.
that game. My siblings love that game too.
Get ready." And he'll have you line up, and then he'll just start like pulling back on like a hammer. And first thing is like peanuts will start shooting out. Boom, 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 boom.
Miss me with that.
Are you worried about people with allergies?
And then
Or people choking and dying.
oh well, I mean, don't choke. It'll just start shooting out different varieties of snack food. So first it's like peanuts, and then there'll be like apple slices and like all different types of like little snack
I love this
food.
invention.
And it just pop. But he never
Where's
seems
the food coming from?
he never seems to load it. Like it just is
I
shooting.
never asked that. I'm eating the food. Do I taste it? Is it real food?
It does taste bland, but it's sustenance. It's filling, but it just tastes bland. Like everything you eat doesn't have a different flavor.
Can I catch one in my mouth, spit it out in my hand, and investigate it?
Sure. You'll spit it out. It looks and feels just like whatever that thing should be. It just doesn't taste like it should, but it still fills you. Like you still get the sensation of eating the food. It's just bland tasting.
So
And
what
then-
is this? Because it is bland.
Yeah, that's of course the thing that I haven't been able to figure out. There's some old spells from like the religious folk. One of them was called create food and water or something. So I've enchanted the cannon with that sort of spell, and it makes it sort of just make snack foods. Like I've made it so to only do snack foods. But of course,
awful.
it just it doesn't taste good. It's just fun. But in a pinch. You could feed anyone, You could make it rain food and snacks on a needing village.
Yeah.
All over.
Good luck
the
with that. I
walkway.
gotta get going. Fizzi's just go start walking away and looking at the other event.
Okay, I guess we
You
gotta
can say if you want,
do
Oz. I gotta go look.
Do you have 2 of these food cannons? By any chance?
Well, I mean, I technically did bring 3, you know, one for showing to public right now, and then one specifically for the judges to take a look at, and one if an investor decides to want to, put money in.
Moss, you don't have enough money. Let's go.
But my twin siblings
don't
would
have enough
love
money.
these.
But you have twin siblings?
Yeah, they would shoot that shit across the house. My mom would hate them.
Well,
You're poor.
I mean, I'd be willing to sell you one. I can't sell you 2. I don't have another one made, but I could make you one if you wanted to buy the second one in advance.
I probably don't have enough money.
Well, how much do you have?
Ah,
Good luck, Moz. I'm gonna turn and catch up with Fizzi.
Wait, guys, I'm doing some real grade A. How much do you want?
Well, how much do you have?
I can't watch this
50
any
gold.
longer.
You said you have 50
No,
gold?
you're just trying to get away
Yes.
because you know you're gonna have your gold.
You have 50 gold.
I do.
You see him, like, really contemplating. You get the potential sense that this guy doesn't get to sell his stuff very often. And he goes,
Alright. I'll give you the one for 50. And if you can bring me 50 more gold, I'll make you a second one.
Done. I screamed and it cut it out.
Oh my god.
Alright, cool. 50 gold. I'll take 50 gold.
50 gold.
Yeah.
50 gold.
you put it in his hand, he goes,
Alright, here you go. Remember, it's called the
Awesome.
Chain Reaction Snack Cannon. You gotta say it that
Chain
way.
reaction snack cannon.
Yeah, one more time.
This is theft.
Chain reaction snack cannon.
Boom, you got it. And that I made it. I made it.
You
Boom
made
whistle.
it.
Boom
Boom
Whistle Industries. Boom
Did you
Whistle
carve-
Corporation?
You don't
I haven't
even know
decided.
what you are?
I haven't
I
decided.
think you should carve that into the cannon.
Oh my gosh. Alright, come back in 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm looking for
So-
anything relating to like arrows. Like little, little arrows or like tools to help move around or any kind of bag of tricks type items. Batman belt looking motherfuckers out here. Lucius Fox looking
Oh.
motherfuckers just rolling about.
Let me add boom whistle snack.
boom, whistle, snack, boom.
Whistle.
Come on.
Snack.
Chain reaction snack cannon.
Chain reaction.
Yeah, you were about to talk to Moss. I heard you.
No,
Kate.
I had turned to
Yeah,
to
they all
Kayth.
left me.
They did all leave you. That is correct.
And as I learned, close distance. So that technically would be a weapon, Fizzi. The chain snack attack.
that is. Voldemort's against it. Looks like he's not winning.
You know, when I went to school, I had a speech teacher, and they said the most powerful weapon was charisma with the right motivations.
That sounds like an art school.
Okay, that was it.
Okay.
I was like,
I was waiting.
Out.
I was waiting. So, yeah, Kayth, as you're looking around to try and find someone who might fit the things you're looking for, you will see a booth that looks very high-tech security type of booth. And you will see a what looks like a half-elf standing behind the booth in these slate gray sort of like officer coat, and they have like steel-stitched gloves, and they're wearing a thin black mask over top of their face. And there is a sort of drone that hovers behind them no matter where they walk.
Hello.
They'll turn to you and they'll sort of talk in like hello there. It's nice to meet you. How can I help you?
I'm just looking from booth to booth, seeing if anything catches my eye. What do you have for sale here, or what are you showing off?
What'd you say you were looking for? Say that again. You didn't say what you were looking for.
I said, I'm sort of I'm looking
around.
I'm looking for anything that like is used in a utility fashion, like like it could be a grappling hook, it could be like a fucking, I don't know, some kind of throwable thing. It could, I don't know. It just generally like, I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. Like trick arrow type shit.
You see them sort of have a little bit of. You can't see their facial reactions because they're wearing like a black mask over their face. But you'll see them sort of stand up straight a little bit. Well, you've come to the right place. This is Quell Tech Arcanics. I'm Marlo Quell. You said you're looking for sort of trick arrows and utility items, yes?
That would be correct.
Well, I've brought a few things for the Centennial. I'll show you what I've brought for the front-facing for the first couple of days, but I have something super secret tomorrow to show if you want to come back. But before then, what I've brought with me today is and he'll grab an arrow, and you'll see it sort of has a little bit of like a dark aura to it. This here is the Shadow Spike Quiver. This will emit a momentary darkness on impact. I've also brought the Whisper Step Boots. This will sort of enhance your sneaking ability and also help with falling from falling from tall heights. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think of the words I wanted. And last but not least, I brought Arc Strike Bolts. These however, are specifically for crossbows, but it's an electrified arrowhead. It will deliver a sort of shock pulse on impact. And, if there are multiple targets within a certain range, it can hit them as well.
How much did you want for the boots and the shadow arrow?
Well, here at Quell Tech...
And is the shadow arrow one use, or...?
Yes, each item is a one use.
Even the boots?
Well, of course not the boots. You asked about the arrow.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But at Quell Tech, we strive ourselves on quality, so we do also price our stuff for quality. What are you looking to buy?
Well, you talked about the shadow quill and the boots. I only use a longbow, so the short little toothpicks won't do anything for me.
All right, well, if you're looking for just the arrow or the boots, the boots would be priced at 1,200 gold pieces. The arrow, I can sell you a bundle for 250 or individually for 60 gold pieces.
What about, like, 10? Wait, what is a bundle? 12?
Let me actually do my math really quick. 250. So a bundle would give you 8 for 250. Making them like 30 gold pieces, the half off essentially.
Could you do a deal on half a bundle?
Bundle is.
A bundle is the deal. You get them half off. So instead of 60 a piece, they're 30 a piece.
Right. But I want them half off at 4, you know? I don't say that. I can't. I only have 212 gold, so I
212.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Do you tell him you have 212?
I'm not gonna spend every single dollar I own on fucking arrows.
It's up to you if you
We
want.
never get money.
You could get 1 for 60 gold pieces if you'd like.
Yeah. Well, could you do 210 on the bundle?
Say that again.
210. Could you do 210 on the bundle?
210 is a little low. Do you have anything else for trade you might want to be willing to get rid of?
Oh well, I have this, and I take out of my bag half plate, or go to Muley, which is next. He's next to me.
Of course, you guys brought Muley.
I take the half plate out of Muley. It's good half plate. I mean, I'd be willing to do.
Oh, Muley, the extra dimensional space that just somehow.
He has a cart. It's in the cart on Muley.
This is the broken half plate, isn't it?
No. This half plate was never broken. This is the half plate I took off of that thief, or one of the thieves in the tower. So this is perfectly fine half plate. So I could do I could do 400 on this if you have anything else.
400. Hold on a second.
They're 750 gold pieces usually at market.
Well,
I mean, really, I shouldn't let it go for lower than 500, but 400 seems reasonable.
Well, I mean, the first thing you're going to look at is this obviously isn't brand new armor. You can tell it's been used and for quite some time. 400 is mostly reasonable. I'd be willing to take it as trade for 300.
Do you have anything else you could throw in?
So you said you had 210, so add 300, so 510. Well, if you give me the 210 and the half plate, I'll give you 2 bundles and 2 extra arrows for free.
I don't know if I need 2 bundles of darkness arrows. Do you have anything else? Or no?
Well, with what you have here, you're halfway to the boots.
Yeah.
I could... Do you have a crossbow?
No, I've used this for...
Do you know anyone with a crossbow?
Crossbow?
Do you know anyone with a crossbow?
Shadowbrow has a crossbow.
Does anyone in the party have a crossbow?
I had one back in the day. I don't need it anymore.
Fizzi has one.
You have like 10 items. You have like 10 weapons you switch through. Do you have you used the crossbow?
Can I posit something to this deal, this haggling?
Yeah. Sure, if you'd like to show up.
What if half plate for 10 arrows?
Huh?
What if?
Yeah.
No gold, half plate, 10 arrows.
Or
I'd be willing to do the half plate by itself for 10 of the arrows.
I would do the half plate for 10 arrows. It seems like we have a deal.
All right. Sounds good to me. He'll take the half plate off your hands. He'll put it behind the counter.
Yeah.
You'll watch as the little drone starts collecting up all the arrows and creating them into a bundle, and then like getting a ribbon tied around them, and then picks them up and brings them to you. Why, thank you.
Down.
Its name is Spectre.
Spectre. It ties very
Do
good
these
bows.
DM.
Yes.
Do these arrows just do the darkness spell on hit, or?
So each arrow, when shot, will create a small burst of magical darkness. So it will essentially cast darkness in a 10-foot radius for 1 round. And there's no saves. It gives stealth advantage, but it
It
doesn't.
does all the things darkness does. Or...
It does all the things that darkness does, except it doesn't block out dark vision. But it will create darkness for a 10-foot radius for 1 round. You'll gain a stealth advantage wherever it is. And it obviously still does regular, like, arrow damage as well.
At this point, Moss is gonna come running up with the snack cannon in hand, being like, "Guys, you'll never believe what I just got."
Is it a chain snack attack?
Reaction smack cannon? Smack cannon.
Actually, Fizzi was definitely the closest, for sure.
That didn't answer any of their question.
Oh, yeah, it's the chain reaction snack cannon.
Oh.
What do the boots
That-
do?
Put it in my bag. That's okay.
They make your falling less, and then they give you advantage on stealth.
They would essentially give you silent step, and then they have a sort of feather fall effect that'll make it so when you fall, you'll take less damage. So it reduces fall damage. It will silence your footsteps, or it can silence your footsteps, and it can also help with climbing.
I really want those boots, but I have no money.
Oh, how much are those boots?
They're actually kind of cheap. 1,200.
Don't you have like
One.
a giant bag full of gems?
No.
No, he says. Would never.
Let me see. I do have gems, but not like a giant bag of them. Not 1,200 gold worth, I don't think.
I don't think they've ever been appraised. It's just a bag of gems that
Now,
we've carried for
real
sessions.
quick, that bag of gems, is that the same bag of gems you gave away in order to pay your debt to the crime organization? Or is this a bag of
Suspect
gems you
remainder.
got somewhere else?
These were gems from later in the snake.
Okay,
I have no gems.
No.
never mind.
He has no gems.
0 gems. So they were the gems. So the ones he was talking about were the gems that he had to give away in order to keep everybody alive.
Well, now that all the information's on the table, we can continue walking.
This is all your guys' fault.
Oh no. Anyway, I put what the arrows do in chat, so you can see those there.
I remember stabbing the dagger into that bandit's throat and watching the life drain out of his eyes and tell him that he'll never see his kids again. Classic RaRa moment.
Anyway, so you guys are still walking around. Did anyone else want to try and find a specific inventor? Or are we doing something else? I know there was want to try and see if anyone else is using your designs.
Yeah.
This is first day at the convention, man. I'm not spending any money here.
Well, it's not even...
Oh.
Joey using convention rules. It's not the first day. It's actually people have been here for 2 to 3 days.
First day for me.
It is first day for you. You're right. You're right. My bad. My bad. So if no one else is looking for a specific vendor, Fizzi, you wanted to start your investigation to see if anyone else here is using your inventions, or you see essentially trying to investigate what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like you to tell me how you think you're going to do this, or how you would like to do this.
So Fizzi's just kind of gonna wander up if they have, like, if anybody has anything out, just kind of, talk to them about it. See if it looked like anything that I have made. And if it's not, just tell them like, oh, yeah, that looks good, or oh, you might want to tighten this thing a little bit and make sure that the arcane relays are good. Technical talk.
So essentially just trying to talk up people at each booth and investigate what they have while you do it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there is almost 200 people here. You don't want to try and narrow that down? You just want to go to every booth?
I would try to... Yeah, that is a lot of people, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done.
Uh-huh.
Fizzi, should we just look for guns and bombs and cannons?
Yeah, we should probably narrow it down to things that I know have been at least copied.
Okay. And you're looking for weapons first? Or you just wanna, you're just trying to give like cursory glances at, do I recognize that?
Yeah, kind of like, does that look like something that I would have made that have been modded or copied?
All right, I will allow you to, and people are helping you, so I'd say you get advantage. You can either make an insight or investigation. The insight would be a DC of 14, and investigation would be a DC of 16. So you can
We're going to do an investigation.
Okay. And now, with investigation, I would like you guys to say how you're helping Fizzi. In order to give him the advantage.
I mean, I saw some of the plans and stuff. I'm sort of trying to see if I can find any familiar design work.
Okay.
There's a lot of noise here. There's probably some clanking and percussion, and RaRa's going to sort of find the beat to the different aisles, and she's going to sort of dance around behind Fizzi while he's talking to keep the shop vendors distracted.
Okay. Moss?
Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what we're doing here.
You're just excited you got a chain reaction snack cannon.
Yeah.
Is Moss just walking around like shooting it into her own mouth?
Yeah.
Sable gets a couple. Shoot a couple of them, you
We gotta work on making this taste good or something.
Fill your mouth with salt before it goes in, and then it'll be salty when you eat it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
So
I
Moss,
mean, I don't know what I'm looking for either. So
Okay.
I'm just like keeping them, and I'm not even
Maybe-
aware that I'm keeping them distracted. I'm just saying.
I would say Moss doesn't quite know what she's doing, but what she is doing will also help with that sort of distraction factor, I would say.
Okay.
So then, yes, you can go ahead and make your investigation with advantage. Like I said, DC 16 is what I'm looking for.
$21.
That's pretty good. That actually beats the hidden DC as well. So,
Hell yeah.
while you guys are walking around, you're not going to get to every single booth, and that's just because of time. However,
Right, we're only looking for weapon boots.
yeah, I mean, you got, again, time and trying to look for specific things. However, these are some that stick out to you. At one booth, you will see a booth that is run by what looks like these really excitable twins. And you're going to see that they have a familiar casing design. Like a capacitor shell. And the reason why it's familiar is it kind of seems to match an old Mach 1 capacitor shell design you made. Along with that, while walking around, you're going to see a crowd gather around a stall that seems to be showing off a energy stabilizer. When you guys take a little bit of a closer look, sorry, Fizzi, when you take a little bit of a closer look, you'll notice that the like rune matrix, the sort of set specific runes that are engraved on this stabilizer, they look very close to a project you worked on called Elastic Field. Except one of the glyphs are like reversed. And then the one that you happen to see extra is a halfling who's using a wand. And the wand is a remote control system that can control specific machinery nearby. It's kind of like a universal remote, but it's a wand, right? And something about its design looks familiar to not one of your designs, but a Fizzbang design that has like been released to the public. So maybe this is someone trying to enhance on the design. You're not entirely sure. But the fact remains that this is something that isn't what you made, but a Fizzbang did create it.
Okay.
So those are the three that point out to you in this walkthrough.
Okay.
And you could point that out to your party if you'd like. It's up to you.
Yeah, Fizzi absolutely would point that out to the party.
So
There's at least three of them here that look familiar to me.
What, Kayth?
What do you want to do, Fizzi?
Hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This thing's only been set up for like 3 days, right? This festival. They said 3 days.
The Centennial has been getting set up for weeks, but over the last 2 to 3 days, inventors have been allowed to set up their booths to start doing early showings.
Guy, you've been the most responsive party member so far.
Sorry, I don't think anybody knew the answer. That was Muley.
So, thanks, Muley. Speak with animals is easy. Would that give them enough time to... Somebody must have stole these before? How long ago do you think it was taken? Hunter, I hear myself through your headphones.
I got really close to my microphone. Leave me alone.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure when anyone would have gotten in or let someone in.
Because they couldn't have turned it around in a couple of days, right? They would have had to have time. So this
Not
must have been out for a while.
Not unless they're brilliant.
Yeah, well, if they're anything like the first guy, brilliance might not be the right term.
He was a genius in his own right.
See about this politician?
But before we do that, I kind of want to check these people out and kind of see, one, if they're local, and two, if they are, who they're kind of gunning for.
Aren't you also kind of concerned that whoever did steal the plans might attack here?
They might
There are a lot of
try to
people
blame it on
here.
me or one of my family members.
Yeah.
All right, let's go see that halfling with the wand first.
What's the play, Fizzi?
Well, we're just gonna try to get some information out of him. See, because it's obviously a Fizzbang design. You just kind of see how long it took him to make it his way, and try to get stuff out of him as peacefully and diplomatically as possible. And maybe we could use the snack cannon as a little helper.
Do you want to hang back in case they recognize you? It seems like everyone recognizes you.
Well, this one was made public, so I'm less worried about it. Them recognizing me for whatever nefarious deeds they may or may not have committed.
So, who do you want to go to first?
Halfling.
Yeah.
So you want to go to the remote control guy?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right, you'll head over and currently they are using the remote wand to sort of like activate devices and turn off devices. People are like, oh, turn on like a little doodad, turn off a little doodad, and it's also sort of able to use radio wave patterns to slightly like pick up things and put them down as well. There's a lot of gizmos and gadgets sort of with this as you walk up. How do you approach?
I approach like a Fizzbang.
Approach like
Confident.
a Fizzbang. So you approach, and they're sort of displaying things, and then they will notice you, and oh, well, hello. I see we have a Fizzbang in our midst here, checking out my designs. Hello, my name is Fenwick. How may I help you, Mr. Fizzbang?
Well, I just wanted to talk to you about your wand there. It looks like it works really well, and you're using one of our designs, I believe.
Oh, I wouldn't say your designs. I'm merely improving upon what the Fizzbangs have made. Now, not in order to, overstep my bounds or what the Fizzbangs have currently done. I only looking to make something better.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all we can do. So, if you see something to improve, why not improve it?
Of course. I'm glad you see it that way.
Could you tell me what you did? Because I don't remember who did it, but they couldn't get it, the way you did.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Fizzbang, but this is proprietary information. If I were to tell you, well, then how am I to know that it wouldn't just get into the hands of someone else? Unfortunately, for that sort of information, I'll have to only wait for the committee. You understand, right?
Absolutely. I was just wondering, as a parlay to the committee, my brother just was on there.
Yes, I
He just
understand.
got
Your brother
invited there.
Gimlet is on the committee, yes?
Yeah,
Ah,
that's him.
very wonderful.
Boy,
He's a very astute man.
Snack Cannon guy was all about telling us how his stuff worked. He was like excited about it.
That's because
Snack
he actually
cannon
invented
guy?
his.
Oh, wait, are you guys talking within earshot or no?
Yeah, we're behind
Oh.
Fizzy like.
Sort of looks around to you and then back to Fizzi. Well, was there anything else I could help you with, Mr. Fizzbang? Would you like to see if there are any of my other inventions, or?
Yeah, let's see what else you got.
Well, of course, and he'll start going through some of his other inventions, which seem to be very sort of menial things. You would probably say that his most interesting thing is this wand.
Okay.
Everything else is pretty... I don't want to say bland. It's mostly like, they're supposed to be ease-of-life inventions, but they're really more like annoying life inventions. Like an alarm clock that only turns off if you stand up, or like, things like that.
Okay. You wouldn't happen to be from around here, would you?
Do I have this person from here? Yes, I am. I'm from Cerberus. I've been here for a good portion of my life.
Well, that's good. I mean, me too. Who,
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah, you couldn't know that, though.
And people I'm socially awkward.
Yeah, this is funny.
Who you got, who you voting for Commodore?
Oh,
If you don't mind.
Oh
now
my
we're getting
goodness,
politics.
Fizzy, you can't ask that. That's illegal.
Well,
We can-
I...
Says where?
Who are you voting for?
That's a trap, Fizzy.
Well, hang on, let me find them. You gave them to me. Well, personally, I'm really a fan of Lady Yasha.
Milk toast?
Lady
I feel
Asha
like
is a
he's,
very stable choice.
Yeah, very
I'm
fair.
sure she could do the job, but I think that's where it would end, is that she would just sort of do the job. I don't know if she has quite the vision that Cerberus needs.
Yeah, she invented the blander.
They've
Like
had the
goes
same
around
Commodore
busy.
for when did people start complaining
that
about vision?
was
They had the same
hysterical.
Commodore for like 100 years, haven't they? Haven't you guys had the same person for like the last 100 years?
Commodore Saldwin had been here for a very long time, yes, and she very much knew exactly what this city needed.
Well, who do you think knows what this city needs?
Well, that sounds like a trap.
That is a trap.
But in
I'm
my
just curious.
honest opinion, as much as he is controversial, I think I'd vote for Duskbrow.
Man, everybody likes stuff, bro.
Brow.
I can see that. That's all right. Bye. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you around Cerberus. And I'll see you tomorrow at the convention.
Centennial.
Convention. Fuck you, Joey.
Centennial.
At the bicentennial.
Just centennial, not bicent. That would be 50 years.
Only one every
Centennial.
100 years.
One every 100
The
years.
centennial?
It's centennial.
Single centennial.
Let's say, yeah, so it's every 100 years.
Okay.
Do they do this
We'll see you then.
convention every year, though? Because that first guy made it sound like he comes here yearly.
There are other inventor conventions.
Hunter
This
going
is
back
the
and retconning.
centennial. What you guys didn't get into his background and how many conventions he has been kicked out of.
No need. We knew.
DM, before we walk away, could I look at that wand with a spyglass?
I would say yes. And with that, you would obviously see it is magical. Essentially what I would say is you can look at it with a spyglass. It will still give you the same information you've already found out about it.
Okay.
I will say, if for some reason you didn't believe this person, then you could try to insight them. But did you believe this person, or did you not believe this person? That's entirely up to Fizzi.
Fizzi would still be skeptical.
Well, then if you feel that they're not giving you the full information, you may make an insight check. Now, this would not be with any help, because it's your instinct on, essentially family affairs.
Yeah. Big money, no whammy, fuck.
Oh.
I am
A
not...
natural one is not gonna do it.
I'm not wasting it. That's fine. I'll figure it out later.
Hey,
Got
seems
it.
trustworthy.
Seems
Thank
pretty trustworthy. I don't know why I just did this. Why did I do this? I just messed up. There we go. All my stuff disappeared for a second there. Okay, we're back. You guys can still hear yourselves? I almost can't hear you anymore.
Hello?
Can't anymore.
Not anymore. It was doing it really bad.
Hey, Juliet.
When I was a young man,
boy.
my father
Okay.
Took me into
So,
the city.
after that first, so with a natural one, essentially, nothing about this person
Fizzi,
seemed
that man's
to.
lying. You should kill him.
Nothing about them seems out of the ordinary. They seem to be upright and talk fairly. You don't really get anything off of them other than they're an inventor.
That's crazy that I rolled that natural one, but oh well.
So we're just going in reverse order on these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the plan on table 2? Same thing?
Well, they weren't too Telly wasn't really wanting to be that open, and while I get it, I do feel it might also be because of my name, so I think I'm gonna hang back with Obi, and let's see if you can get him with your razzle dazzle, RaRa.
Your razzle bedazzle.
I could razzle dazzle him, guys.
Do you want energy stabilizer for your new snack cannon?
Yep.
Go razzle dazzle him.
I was actually kidding.
Oh, you got this. I'll pat her on the back, give her an inspiration, and shove her towards the table.
You got this.
Hello.
You will see a. Is this the?
The
Right, okay.
energy stabilizer.
You will see a shorter than you woman in a lab coat and wearing like large yellow gloves and rubber boots. And you will see them messing with like a bunch of electricity things, like those big like circle spheres where you touch it and the lightning goes to you. They just got like a bunch of those everywhere, and you walk up and they see you walk up and well, hello, young lady. How can I help you?
You stole these.
beg your pardon? I stole nothing. I've been inventing on these for years.
Show these designs.
And
then I
how,
walk
pray
away.
tell, do you think
I
that?
walk away.
Just walk away. They just look at you with like, what the fuck?
Good job, Moss. Well done.
Thanks. I think you're up.
I think
I'll head up to the table.
you'll walk up. As you do, your hair, your fur, starts to sort of spike up a little bit as you get close to this booth.
Whoa. What's going on over here?
The person's still like, okay, and looks back to you. Where was I?
I
Hello.
don't know.
How
Hi.
can I help you?
What's going on? I'm all prickly.
Oh, well, it's probably due to my inventions. I deal in a lot of electrical means. And the energy around us.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, and they very quickly look over you, and they're like, okay. Like, you've seen this look. And it's the, is this person smart enough to know what I'm talking about look? And then goes, I work in the business of making sure people don't get electrocuted on workstations and making sure that if there's an unstable energy that we can compress it and keep it safe.
That's got to be busy work right now. Like, that's got to be, a lot of places converting over to electricity from gas and, arcane and...
Well, I mean, there have always been the need for an energy stabilizer. As for electricity in itself, that is a new sort of modern thing moving around, but it's not used in sort of practical means yet, only in large and mechanical ways. But I can see where you're coming from.
You build things that stabilize all kinds of energies.
I suppose it depends. Are you trying to stabilize some energy?
No, I'm just curious what you do. Is that what this thing on the table does?
Yes, it does. This is a field energy stabilizer. This would essentially be able to be used in the field by researchers or adventuring parties whenever they come across an unstable energy.
Oh.
It also
How
will
does it-
allow for maybe trapped rooms or highly electrified rooms to keep them stable. It's even been known to potentially disable anti-magic.
Oh, I heard about one of these things before. Do you know the Fizzbangs?
Well, of course I know the Fizzbangs. Who doesn't know the Fizzbangs?
I heard that they had something like this.
Yes, you would be correct. There is a lot of notes in their a lot of notes on their runic abilities within the guilds. A lot of it is public theory as well. I have, of course, taken those notes and created my own version. Something that would work a lot better.
Hey, Kayth, did you mind link us this morning?
I already did it. It was the first
Yeah,
thing
so-
I put into chat.
So we are.
I'm
Psionic
I can see. Hold on.
whispers.
Bionic whispers. I'm checking. I'm sure you did, but of course my stuff won't go far back enough.
No, it's literally right after kicked us in the bricks, I'm sure. Sonic Whispers, and then I rolled a d8.
Kicked you in the bricks?
4 hours. Okay.
Before
I
called
see.
that
It's in the
out
roll
there.
20 chat. It's good. Good. It's here. questions answered. I will. Hey, Fizzi.
Yeah.
She says that she found the notes for the field energy thingy in the guild halls. Is that a possibility of being real?
That is correct, DM. That would be our notes. Some of our notes would have been published.
Now, it is true that there could be a lot of your notes that have been published. However, the notes that usually get published are of stuff that gets approved and goes to sale, right? Like goes to the public. Things that don't usually go to the public, there isn't a directory of notes other than in your workshop. But the idea of public theory is possible if any of you who worked on this talked about it outside of your home.
Yeah, that might be possible.
I assume Fizzi would tell you what I just told him.
Yeah, I would, hang on. Fuck. No. Yeah, that might be possible, RaRa. Bolthead's kind of dumb and doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Oh my God.
She did specifically say copious notes that she got the information from.
Question.
I don't...
Are you sitting at the booth silently?
I'm acting during this, so I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I'm like putting my hand over the thing, like near it, to see if it like
I gotcha.
pokes my fur up more.
Pokes my fur up.
Well, RaRa, if she said copious, I don't know how copious amounts of notes would get out there.
This thing's neat. So there was information for this just out there for you to like use to build it.
How would she respond to this? Well, I mean, yes, there's first account notes that people took down as the Fizzbangs gave out their theories at lectures and such.
So you built this from people taking notes, talking about this.
I built this off the unused design of a previous energy balancer and created my own.
Are there a lot of people that build this kind of stuff?
I mean, I'm sure there are others who create energy displacers and balancers and capacitors. Mine is unique.
Are you like a big fan of the Fizzbangs? Because it's got a lot of like their design quirks to it.
Well, for anyone who's anyone, you're usually a fan of the Fizzbangs.
What do you think, Fizzi? Sort of relay that.
We'll throw her in the maybe pile. Thank you, RaRa.
How much does one of these things sell for?
Well, this smaller version, which is a portable, this usually goes for 3,000 to 4,000 grand. And of course, there are very larger versions for large work areas that can go upwards of 10 to 20,000.
Wow, so you're like rich too. I mean, it's got to cost a lot to build one if that's what you can charge for them.
Well, of course, an inventor's, designation isn't to just gain monetary value off their inventions, but to just make the world a better place.
I'll try to read if that last statement is true.
Sure, give me an insight check.
Oh, my accelerator's off. Fantastic.
This guy's got his accelerator off.
I had mine off earlier.
Wow. Nobody keeps their accelerator on anymore. A
Sorry,
16.
what gracious host.
16. Well, this is what you'll gain off of this. First things first. This booth, absolutely no branding. As though they are like an independent inventor who does not have a company or startup or even a backer. And as they say their last statement, you can almost certainly hear it in their voice and gestures that they 100% would like to be in it for the money. And you also sort of know that feeling as well from people at school who are like, I didn't pay all this money to not make money. So they very much want to make money, but you can sort of tell they have not been able to attract anyone yet. However, there is a bit of hopefulness in it because their booth has been surrounded by people today. Like maybe luck will turn around.
Noted. DM noted. I will return to the group. Yeah, she's got a vibe, all right. Definitely hoping to sell that thing for a lot, I think.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Trying to fix something that we couldn't get off the ground. And
It also seems like maybe she didn't have a lot of success doing that in the past.
That's true. But from the way you explained it, how she talked, she doesn't seem to so much want to take us down and ruin our name. Just kind of maybe get some money off of where we weren't able to excel.
I mean, yeah.
With that, we are going to take our break for the night, guys. So everyone, please go get your drinks, your snacks, take your poos, take your peas, whatever it is you need, and we will be back in about 5-ish minutes. Please do not leave your screens. Please. And we will be right back.
Hey there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, a.k.a. Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Deagle Eagle. We're
Older and Dumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to all our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew, be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
So dipshits, mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of older and dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black! Now my stand! Fade to black!
Hey everybody, we are back and ready to continue this adventure, but of course, before we continue this adventure, we're going to need to hear a few words from our Joe.
Guys, if you're enjoying the content, please support us. You can do so here on Twitch, $5.99 a month, or use your Twitch Prime sub. That doesn't cost you anything as long as you're a Prime member. Use it to help us make better content. You can also watch ad-free and catch up on episodes here on Twitch, commercial-free. If you want to catch up on YouTube, you can do that as well, youtube.com/olderandDumber. Like, comment, subscribe.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
If you're over there, that's what the algorithm loves, and that's a big support as well. finally, patreon.com/older and dumber. You can back us there as low as $5 a month. We put all that money back into going to shows and making more content and merch and whatnot for you guys. Every cent's going back into what we make right now. So you're directly supporting the content that you love. And then finally, socials at Older and Dumber everywhere. Hop on there, get in the Discord, get active. We could do a lot of fun stuff in there. So without further ado, Hunter, get us back to this game.
Nice, I can do that. I want to make the ring my bell thing specific for when we get subscribers. I think that would be fun.
But it has to be me.
Yes, it'll be you you singing it. So anytime someone subs on Twitch, it should do that. I'll look into it. I don't know if you can make just that sound. Anyway, all right.
Yep, you can.
You can do individual sounds per thing?
Yep.
I thought it was one sound for everything.
Whoa, you've never been more wrong in your life. Have you ever heard my
All right,
subscriber
mother.
versus my follower versus my bits?
I can make them all look different. I didn't know you could also make the sound for each one different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
True.
All right, well then, look what we're doing next. Anyway, back to the game. So guys, we are coming right back into this. You guys just finished interviewing the second booth, which you did not get their name at all. And you came to some sort of conclusion and had one booth left.
All right, Kayth, get them.
No.
Use your special talent.
I'll do it.
Are you doing it or?
Oh, I thought you were gonna try and stop me. You opened your mouth. I walk
I'm not
up to
gonna
the
try and
booth.
stop you.
Moss, you will walk up to the booth and you will see these two twins who are very, they're very excitable, they're very happy, they're like, oh yeah, blah, 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 talking to this person, talking to that person. The two of them will see you walking up and one will say, hi, how are you? And the other one says, how can we help you?
Did you steal those designs from the Fizzbangs?
I will let you, with their response, make an insight check as you asked a question rather than made a statement. I will allow you to make I will allow you to make an insight check while they give their response.
With an advantage because of how bold I am?
No.
You got a bardic inspo, though.
You do have bardic inspiration, so you can roll
What's
your.
a bardic?
Is it
It's
D8?
D8.
Eight.
Yeah, D8. Come on, 4+. Yeah! Got the baseline.
10.
We didn't steal anything. What are you talking about? The Fizzbangs are great, but why would we take anything they had? We're trying to make a name for ourselves. Yeah. I am talking as
Wow.
two different people. If you did not
My
get
siblings do that and I hate it.
siblings, you have twin siblings? That's cool. A statistical anomaly.
Holy shit. May?
We didn't steal this from anybody. We bought this from a salvager. Yeah, a salvager out in the drylands. Yeah, the drylands are pretty positive.
Can you guys focus up here? Can you tell me more about this scavenger in the drylands?
Not a scavenger, a salvager.
That's what I said.
There's much of a difference between the two things. It's not what you said. But either way, like I said, we bought it from a salvager in the drylands. Yeah, in the drylands. They came from a wrecked R&D crate, the guy said. And then we bought it. I mean, it's just a housing. We just needed it to use as a shell for our capacitor. So it's not like it actually has any value other than, well, I guess other than the designs of the Fizzbangs. I guess I didn't really notice that it was Fizzbang Designs. Oh man, do you think that's why people have been looking at it so much? Oh,
We just have an
gosh.
open line
Hey,
going.
hey guys, hey
It's
guys.
very possible.
Can you be quiet real quick? I just need to hear myself think. A couple seconds. Party members, I need everyone to go back to the previous tables and ask if they got them from a scavenger. Salvager? Which one? Salvager. From a wrecked R&D crate. Okay, and break.
I love that it's like, shush! Okay, I'm back. What was that?
So, I'm working on talking to my friends in my brain because usually I also talk in my brain, but also out loud.
Oh, yeah, weird. That's okay. Might still have money. That makes sense. So, what can we help you with?
I'm sorry, did you say I'm the weird one?
They look at each other, look back. They both shake their head. No!
I'm weird, not stupid. Are you trying to gaslight me too?
So the Kayth thing.
That you stole from the Fizzbangs? Yes, go on.
Well, no, again, we didn't steal it. We bought it. We bought it
Do
from
you
a
know the
salvager.
name? Do you know the name of the salvager?
Yeah, actually. Pretty positive his name was
Tony Tart.
And then at the same time, Quindle. Quindle was his name.
Okay. So I think since this is the intellectual property of the Fizzbangs, my lawyer will be in contact with your lawyer, and actually, I represent the Fizzbangs. I'm not sure if you knew that. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Moss. I represent the Fizzbangs. This is stolen property. It is the intellectual property of the Fizzbangs, so I will be in contact with you.
Whoa. That's not possible. We have the paperwork right here. They pull out this big form, and it's not stolen property. We bought it from a salvager. Anything bought from a salvager is not considered ownership of claimed property of the first intellectual And they start going.
Yeah. Can I have this piece of paper?
This is our receipt
No.
that says we're allowed to have this. Can I
For
have
my
that?
records?
No, you can't have this.
Hmm.
You can look at it. This is just for looking.
Can I look at this? Let me
Yeah,
hold it.
you can't hold it. You
Let me
already said
hold
you
it.
want to take it. We don't trust you.
I'm
You
not
don't
gonna
trust her.
take
She's
it.
100% gonna run.
I wasn't even thinking about running. I just want to read
Lost.
it. I want to
Oh,
read
she
it.
wasn't thinking about running, but she is now.
I
Mm-hmm.
am now, of course. You put it in my brain.
So they'll hold it for you to read.
Is this a legit?
So this is a piece of paper that does. This is a piece of paper that does outline that salvaged material bought is not directly owned to the beginning intellectual property. Like, essentially, yes, it does say what they're saying it is.
It's protecting the buyer of the salvager, but
Protects
does
the
it protect
buyer.
the salvager?
It does not say that it protects
That
the
is what I
seller,
wanna know.
but it does protect the buyer. So essentially, it's kind of like well, what's your intelligence?
She's stupid.
What is your intelligence? Is it lower than 10 or higher or a 10?
It's a 10. Whoa,
All right,
I
then-
thought it was negative. It definitely went up.
Okay, so then it's a 10. A 10 would be able to understand or get an inkling of. I mean, you thought of it yourself. I mean, you literally started to say it as, as May or Moss. It protects the buyer. So this kind of is a receipt that looks a lot like what fake businesses might use to sell stolen property. So it's like, yeah, that person will be safe who bought it from any sort of legal action towards them, but their stuff might get repossessed depending on who, again, it does, it says what it says. It says what it says. It does say what they say it says. But you definitely understand that there's a part missing, and that's about the seller.
Mm-hmm.
Moss, don't forget to get their names.
Oh, what are your names? Could you possibly say them one at a time?
We're the Copperhold twins!
They didn't.
Nope.
You have first names that are separate from each other?
Oh, yeah, we usually introduce ourselves as the business. It just makes sense.
I hate it. It sure does. Which one are you? And I point to the one on the left.
One on the left. That would be this one. Your left would be this one. I'm... Oh my god, who is this? Oh! I'm Stan!
His name is fucking Stan, are you kidding me?
Stan Copperhold.
And my name is Joe.
Are you fucking kidding me? Okay.
And we're
just so you know-
the Copperhold twins!
Okay. I'm leaving now. Just know that your stuff can be repossessed, and I may be back. Goodbye.
Their very happy demeanor goes...
Mm-hmm. Fuck them.
And you walk away and go back to your group.
During that time, I hope my group did what I said and went back to see if they found all the other stuff from the salvager. I don't know why that word is so hard for me right now.
Salvager?
Yep.
RaRa comes back with some snacks.
Why'd you come back with snacks? I have all the snacks we could possibly ever need.
Yeah, but these ones taste good. I bought them from the pretzel vendor.
Mm.
Do you want some?
I'll go up to the other vendor. Which one was this? The electric guy?
The electric
Yeah.
lady.
Doc Ock.
Whatever.
Davey. You head up to the scientist lady?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hello. How can I help you,
Hello.
you fine gentlemen?
Oh, I was just wondering. Seems a lot of tinkerers found, inspiration off of some parts found from a salvage man
He gets it.
in the desert. I was just wondering, is that where you draw your inspiration from? Something you found out in the desert as well, or is yours
No.
all, pure out of your brain?
No, not out of my brain. It's based off of early designs from the Fizzbang's energy balancers and their early public theories, and me using their ideas to create this one for my own machinations. I don't know anything about a desert.
Oh, awesome. And I turn around and walk away. Yeah, she doesn't know anything.
Nice. Okay.
And still don't.
It's definitely the person I rolled a 1 on for that insight. It's 100%.
Somebody better go back there.
Just then.
Then
Bomb in the city.
explosion from the electric booth.
No. Just then. I need to switch up our music here a little bit. Come on. There we go. Just then, you're going to hear some yelling in a row over. And you're all going to smell smoke.
Oh boy.
And you will start to see a drone flying over top of the row next to you, and it seems to be shooting out nets sporadically onto people that are walking around and the booths themselves. And there are people yelling and freaking out. You're hearing glass shatter, and you even hear like a whoosh, and you smell smoke. And you see this drone flying over top, back and forth, just shooting nets out sporadically.
Is that
Nets?
yours? Is that one of yours, Fizzi?
Yeah. Does that look like it might be one of my designs, DM?
You are unable to tell at this point, as it is moving very sporadically in the air. You're unable to get a clear view.
You know what? Kayth, shoot it down.
Go roll to hit.
Shoot. I steady aim.
Are we going to... Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say the rest of us can go see what's going on.
All right, so this is
steady
how.
aim, DM.
Okay, shoot. I'll
What
wait
if
for him
this
to
is a
roll.
rescue drone?
Natural 20.
Holy fuck, the rescue drone's dead.
Natural 20. Go ahead and roll damage for me. So, how I assume this happens is you all sort of question it for a moment and then go to action. So Kayth sort of gets himself right, maybe like puts his foot up on something to steady himself, pulls back an arrow. While he's pulling back an arrow, the three of you are moving towards that. Maybe RaRa jumps and flies over the booths.
I was gonna say, can I go up and if he hits it, I want to catch it so it doesn't hit anybody on the way down.
That's a certain possibility, yeah. So then RaRa, you're going to jump in the air and head towards it. Fizzi and Moss, you guys maybe cut through some of the booths to get to the other side quickly. Yes?
Oh my god.
Wait, is this...
it's
He's
30
got weighted dice?
36, 36.
This guy has crit roll turned on.
Yeah, he does.
I crit.
No, I meant you have the thing that makes us see your roll max every time.
What do you mean?
This guy has hacks.
12.
It was
This guy's got
a
hacks.
joke.
Was a joke.
No. I didn't sharpshooter, so it's just 36 damage.
It's just 36 damage. I don't know how you're getting the X. I didn't say you had sneak attack.
I have advantage, so I have sneak
He's
attack.
got advantage.
Oh, shit. Okay. So anyway, so Moss and Fizzi, you guys will run through some booths to get to the other side. Here is the scene as it unfolds. The arrow is launched through the air and heads for the drone. Nets are shooting out. RaRa, you're heading up towards the drone almost just as fast as the arrow gets launched through the air and slams into the drone. The drone will shoot out one last net, and you'll watch it start like screeching as it goes downwards. And you're now heading for it to try and catch it. I will need athletics is for catching, unless you have some magical means you're trying to use. While that's happening, Moss and Fizzi, the two of you will make your way through the booths and start assessing the situation as you look around. You see a pretty good amount of people who are currently trapped in nets. Like, they've just been hit by nets, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't move! And there's booths that have been hit by the nets, and the booths are, like, destroyed and messed up. But the biggest thing you're going to see as you get over the side and feel is this heat. As you guys turn and see there are 3 booths that are currently engulfed in flame. And all of the inventors who are in those booths are yelling like, someone help, my inventions, my livelihood, as 3 booths are, like I said, engulfed in flame. So that's the situation we are at currently. RaRa, please, what are you making your decision to try and catch this thing with?
I don't have any spells that I think that will help, so...
So it's just going to be a straight up try to catch it with athletics. I will say, because of Kayth's natural 20,
He fucking
I
shattered
would
that
give you
shit.
advantage. All right. 16. That's good. So RaRa, you're gonna fly through the air. You're gonna see the arrow hit the drone. It's starting to go down, and you're gonna be able to reach for it and just sort of like clutch it, like grab it and clutch it. And its size is, it's not huge, but it's not small. I would say it's a little bit bigger than like a briefcase. That's like about its size, is a little bit bigger than a briefcase. But you're able to grab it and catch it. And then, of course, you didn't check for, if it's, like, on fire or something. But as you look down at it, it's not, luckily. As Kayth hit it, it specifically hit, like, what looks like some sort of ball on the inside. And instead of it just exploding, it just lost flight control. So it's just in your arms, and it's sort of turned itself off. Or has been turned off from what Kayth has done. But you're able to catch this thing pretty safely, and it will not fall on people below. Fizzi and Moss, you guys are now standing in the row, and watching as 3 booths are engulfed in flame. What are the 2 of you doing?
Are the inventors stuck in the booths with their inventions?
They have been able... So, 2 of them have been able to jump out and get in front of the booth. The 3rd booth, you cannot see a person outside or inside of it.
Distance-wise, like, from the booths, where are, like, the people who are all netted?
I would say the row itself is probably 15 to 20 feet wide. I'd say from you to the booths that are engulfed in flame, they're within like 10 feet. And the closest netted person is probably also within about 10 feet.
In, like, a different direction.
Yes.
Moss is going to look at the booths and kind of freeze a little bit, and then she'll start running towards the netted people. Okay, Fizzi, I'm gonna help these people. You got that.
Yeah. Go get him off. So Fizzi is going to cast Longstrider on himself.
You touch a creature, the target speed increases by 10 feet until spell ends. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, you have increased your speed.
I am only... Oh, shit. Hang on. I want to make sure... Longstrider. Oh, it is the 2nd level. Is it? Yeah. I can't downcast, correct? I can only upcast?
You can only upcast. I don't know if I've ever been asked, can I downcast?
I would like to do worse, please.
Can my fireball just be like a little fire spit?
Level 1. So I'm also gonna, before Moss leaves, I'm gonna get Longstrider on Moss. Free 10 feet for an hour.
You're using it on Moss.
Using a higher level spell slot.
Oh, sorry. So you're casting at a 2nd level to do it on both of you.
Yeah.
You can do it at a level 1.
Yeah, I saw that. You know what? It's fine though. We need to save people. It's okay.
Okay.
So Longstrider on both of you. You both get an additional 10 feet of movement.
Yep. How far away is the booth where I don't see anybody in or around it?
Within 15.
All right. So I'm going to tell Obi to start seeing if he can save their invention, starting with the closest one and moving on to the next one while I go see if there's anybody in this other booth that may be trapped.
Call that first part out one more time.
So Obi is going to go try to save the inventions.
Okay.
I'm going to go see if there's a person that needs to be saved.
Okay. You can make a just roll a d20 for Obi, and then roll an investigation for yourself. I will say because of the... No. Never mind.
Does Obi get any bonuses?
I believe he probably does. I just don't know them off the top of my head. I mean, he essentially would roll with investigation or perception, so it's either going to use his wisdom modifier or his intelligence modifier. So whichever one's better, you can add.
Oh, he's got perception. Let's just roll perception.
There you go.
Ah! OP.
Dude, Fizzi. We're gonna use him for parts.
It's fine. It's fine.
And then roll for yourself.
Almost.
Wow, almost a nat 20. Very close. All right, Fizzi, you send Obi to go to the first two booths, and the people who own those booths are like yelling at Obi or trying to, point Obi in the right direction, but you ignore that for the moment as you run to the third booth and you start looking around. The flames are, very high. They're getting in your face, but you pull your goggles down. You've been in a lot of heat situations before, so you start looking around as best you can. I'd even say with how high you rolled, you had the inkling to pull out the lens to sort of give yourself a little bit of a better sort of means to see. And you do see that there is someone in that booth, and they are currently underneath a beam from the booth itself. Like there is a wooden pole or beam on top of them, and they seem to be a halfling. They're quite small.
Obi, I need you over here now.
Obi at the booth, at the booths where he's supposed to be saving things, goes. And runs. Just takes those things, throws them down, and then runs towards you to help. And the people who own those booths are like, what? And so Obi runs to you. Go.
Obi, help me lift this beam.
So that will happen. One of you roll athletics with advantage. So you or Obi roll athletics with advantage. During that time, Moss, you had said what you were doing?
She was going.
I'm going to get the people, cut people out of nets.
Trying to cut people out of nets. 11.
Oh, this is 7.
So Moss, to make this sort of, you've dealt with nets before, so I just want you to roll survival. Like, are you proficient in survival? Pretty positive. Yes.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just roll a survival check for me. I would say, again, you're pretty familiar with nets.
It went from a fucking 20 to a 2.
Well,
yeah, mine went from a 19 to a 7.
You'll have advantage because of your familiarity. It's just like cutting out animals from nets. Except they're people. I would say with a 14, you essentially will like move up to the first person, already have like a knife out, cut through one, and you can make it to another person, cut through another. Now at this point, we're going to head back to the beginning where we're at Kayth. Kayth, you've just launched the arrow, it slammed into the drone, RaRa caught the drone. What are you doing? Fizzi and Moss are gone. Okay, they've like head to the other row.
Okay, and where most of the commotion is coming from?
Yeah,
where they went to?
Correct. The row over is where all the commotion is.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm looking around, seeing if I see anybody fleeing or someone watching in a sort of more than just like curiosity of what's happening, like with intent. And I'll make my way over towards there to see what I can do.
All right. Roll an insight.
Insight check. I'll add a psychic die to that.
Okay. Brings us to a 19 on that check. All right. So, Kayth, as you are running from the row you're in to the row over, you're sort of taking that deliberate moment to sort of look down the row from left to right, see if you can't, maybe not sense, but see, essentially look for the odd. Like, there's obviously commotion happening, but you're trying to look for that oddness or something that might stand out as to what's going on. In the row you're in, you don't see anything. You'll head through to where the commotion is, into the next row, and you will see the netted people. You'll see the flame engulfing the booths. You'll see that Moss is currently cutting people out of nets. You'll see that RaRa is currently landing with the drone. Or maybe not, we'll get to her, but essentially whatever she's about to do next, you're seeing it. And you're now in this row, and you should take that moment to look around once more. 19. You'll look down the far way of the path, and then the other way of the path. Nothing stands out as to someone acting weird in any way. There doesn't seem to be... Whatever was here that maybe caused this drone to do what it did or activate it is long gone. But you are now here in the other row.
Like a universal wand.
You're crazy. This guy's crazy. Is there... so there's fire? Do I see anybody caught in a fire?
Currently, if you look over, you can see the back of Obi in one of the booths. In one of the engulfed, flamed booths.
And there's another booth that's on fire?
There are 3 booths on fire. So 2 of them are completely engulfed. There doesn't seem to be anyone in them. The third one on the farthest end, you see Obi inside of it.
Okay, I'll go over there and see what I can do to help.
You head to the one that has Obi in it?
Yeah.
As you head over there, you will see that Obi and Fizzi are currently struggling to pull a engulfed flaming beam off of a small halfling that is currently stuck in the booth.
Where the fuck is Moss?
Let's go.
I try to help pick it up off of this person.
All right. Before that,
if we live, can you pull him out?
Before that, we're gonna jump to RaRa. You've caught the drone, RaRa, and you see Kayth running for the commotion.
And we see 5 booths on fire, right?
3 booths on fire.
3 booths on fire, even better. I'm going to try to creatively use a spell. You tell me if it works or not.
What do you do with the drone first? That's going to be the first question.
I'm going to keep it under my arm.
All right. Doable.
And then I'm going to do sort of a pirouette. I'm going to start to build up some energy. I'm going to come down, hit the ground, throw my hand up. Throw up a 3. And I am going to cast sleep and slow. And target the 3 booths that are on fire to try to slow the spread of the flames.
Puts Kayth, Fizzi, and the halfling to sleep in the engulfed flaming.
All right, come on. You know,
sorry.
Normally can only target creatures, but
interesting.
I can make an arcane check for it or whatever.
Cube of 40 feet. Up to 1 minute. You alter time around up to 6 creatures of your choice in a 40-foot cube. Each target must succeed in wisdom saving throw or be affected by the spell for the duration. An affected target speed is halved. It takes -2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws. And it can't take reactions on its turns. So everybody gets slowed and their AC and dexterity saving throws are penalized.
I'm trying to target the structures to slow the spread of the flames.
So this is probably how I say it would work. Is you can hit the area. The area will be affected. Now, things in that area are still going to be affected. So I will say...
Okay.
You alter time around up to 6 creatures of your choice. Oh.
I mean, the area is still affected.
The area would be effective, yes.
He could do the area and choose to not target us.
So, this is what I'll say. I will have you make an Arcana check. And this is to essentially your ability to hold on to the area of effect successfully. Like, you can cast slow, and again, it's usually spent for creatures, blah, blah, blah. But you are using it in a creative way. I would say the Arcana check is how much it affects the environment. It'll still affect it. It's how successfully it affects it. And this was quite creative. I like it. Go ahead. Oh, my back. There we go. 16. All right, with a +0 too. That was a gamble. That was a gamble. RaRa, you throw. It is your first time casting this spell. You'll watch as you're sort of holding your hand out. You're holding the 3 fingers and pointing towards the booths and holding on to the drone and sort of flying in the air. And for those of you who are in,
down.
Do what? Oh, pure.
Yeah,
You're
I
going
came to the
down.
ground. Yeah, pirouetted to the ground and then.
Gotcha. So you go to the ground and you're holding it. You're like in the middle of the row, holding it, and people can sort of see you visually, sort of like concentrating on the area. And the rest of you who see the booze on fire, and for the 3 of you who are currently trying to save that halfling, you watch as the flames, like they were raging. Now they're very, almost is in, like they're there but not moving. But you can notice they're very slowly moving. So essentially, the fire is still hot here, but it's not essentially how fire sort of grasps and like tries to burn things essentially and spread. It's not doing that. So the area is not engulfing as fast as it should now. It's being slowed down. The process of it burning down is slowing down. I would say that would help you guys to be able to pull the beam off, or at least lower the DC for sure. That was fantastic. So, RaRa, after you, would bring us back to... Yes?
And she's just like, whoa. And then she'll like look around at the crowd and she'll be like, somebody get some water or like a fire out invention.
Invention! Moss, we come back to you, who currently has probably cut like 4 or 5 people out of nets and just watched RaRa land and do what she did.
Is there any way to was there just the one drone that was netting people?
It seems so.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like these people are in immediate danger or like about to be sucked up into space and taken.
Not that you know of.
Okay. That was all my questions. Continue.
Okay. What would you like to do?
I mean, have I cut them all out of the...
I would say you probably see maybe like 2 or 3 more people who are netted. And essentially just saw RaRa land and do that cool spell. And see the other party members in one of the burning booths. Like, you're sort of like, you've cut people and you're taking a moment to look up and assess the situation, and you're seeing this. You're having a moment to sort of decide what you would like to do or continue doing.
From the distance that I'm at, can I tell that the flames have been altered, messed with, fucked with, changed?
The fire is still as... How do I want to put this? Imagine watching like a horror film, but it's just in slow motion. It's still extremely scary. It's just moving slow.
And I saw RaRa cast that.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
I did I?
Yes?
I'm going
Someone
to,
else who can do magic.
I'm going to continue cutting people out
All right.
of nets.
Then you will continue to do that, and you will eventually be able to free the rest of the people. So moving on from you, we go to Fizzi and Kayth and Obi, who are currently in the booth that is burning down. You're trying to save the halfling. You notice everything slows down around you. The three of you can make another try to get this off. Again, it'll be athletics with advantage, whoever has the best.
I have a +2, and so does Obi.
Kayth, I have a -1.
I'm not saying anything.
Do I?
Kayth is pulling the halfling to freedom.
I want to roll for Obi this time.
Wow,
He's
you're gonna
been-
put it in Obi's hands instead of your
I'm
own?
gonna put it in Obi's hands.
Give him his chance to redeem himself.
All right, go ahead with advantage.
Oh my god.
Can Obi have
Hey.
a monologue?
No,
I mean, he's your
but he
he's
is
your
an
boy.
He's an extension of you, so you could inner monologue.
Give him a pep talk, brother.
Inner monologue, because you're in the process of doing this. He's just helping you, so it's still an inner monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I don't know if I can do this myself. I definitely need Obi's help for this. The Big Tin Man's a lot stronger than I. We need to save this halfling. Come on, Obi!
I love the fact that like you're lifting, and Fizzi's in his head thinking, and then like at the end of his thought just yells, "Come on, Obi!" I will allow you to roll once again. It's not with advantage. Just roll again.
Oh my god!
Damn, David.
The three of you are currently there trying to get this happening out. Kayth, you're there to sort of try and pull them, but Fizzi and Obi they're just not able to lift this beam. It's just not going
I
anywhere.
take out my wand. I take out my wand of magic missiles, and I fucking shoot the beam.
He said,
Modern problems
"Give me
require modern
I'm the
solutions.
bomb."
I take my wand of magic missiles, and I will expend 3 charges.
I will say, magic
Oh, that
missiles
is a-
do automatically hit their target.
So that is, I spent 3 charges, so that is a 5th level magic missile. Wait, no. Yeah, 3rd level, sorry. 3rd level magic missile.
I will tell you this.
So that's 5.
You have a chance here. I'm giving you. This is the DM telling to you, Kayth. You may do this action. Know that this action could have unwanted consequences. Do you still want to make that
shooting
choice?
The person?
You said you're shooting the beam, and it does not miss. That is correct. Magic missile does not miss.
That beam is falling on you, brother.
It's currently on the halfling. It's pinning the halfling currently. It's on top of them, on fire.
All right, what are the potential consequences here, Doctor Strange? I am Agamotto all of these.
Okay, so the beam is like
Just-
laying on it, and are they in the middle? Are they at the end of the beam, or like? Can you set the scene a little bit more?
So it's like they're in the middle, like the beam has landed on them, and their body is essentially like in the center of this beam, as it is just piled on top of them. And it's not only that like just a beam is on them, but their whole booth has fallen, and things are accounting to more of the weight than the beam itself. So there's a beam on them, it's on fire, everything's on fire, and it's
Then
all sort of
DM
continuing to fall. However, it's slowed down right now.
Would it be possible to shoot magic missiles like underneath the person so that it gives them enough space to just drag them out?
You want to create an air pocket with a magic missile?
No, so it's force damage. So what I'm trying to do is do enough
Shit the shit
damage
out
to
of me with your stomping.
underneath them to make enough wiggle room to pull them out from underneath the beam.
So you are wanting to shoot the ground, so it creates like a hole under them, so that
Yeah.
sort of they'll
Just-
fall and have a moment where you can pull them.
Right.
That's what you're hoping for.
Yeah, so the beam will stay in place, hopefully, and there's just enough room underneath them that it can be dragged out. And it's a 3rd level spell, so it's like, it's pretty...
5th level spell, you said.
So
no,
3rd level is all I can do.
Cast it first, and then you add the...
Yeah, so it's 3rd.
Okay, right, but you're casting
so
it at a 5th
it's 5
level.
darts. No, I'm casting as a 3rd level spell. I can only cast
heard
3
him say-
charges at a time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wand of Fireball starts at 3. That's where he was doing his math.
I got you, okay. So, again, I will just say the same thing with that. Again, you can still make this choice. I'm just telling you, there is the potential for an unwanted consequence. These are all very smart things. I'm just telling you.
What about shooting the stuff on top of the beam? Would that reduce the DC?
I think the whole thing will collapse in on them if we shoot the things that are holding up what's left of their shop. That's on top of them. Just get ready to pull, and I have the magic wand out, and I'm stepping out.
Okay.
And I'll say, "Go!" and I'll shoot the magic beams. Will sort of all go out and sort of underneath them, and try to just make the space.
So again, it's hitting to like try to break up the ground and cause a hole for them to slip, so to fall and pull them. You're trying to create space. Give me the damage of those magic missiles.
It's 5d4 plus 5.
Be crazy if you exploded this halfling.
That is 16 points of force damage.
16 points of force damage. Now again, it will not miss. It will hit the target. That is magic missile. So it does do that. You watch as the beams will... and they will slam. One sort of starts like near them, and then as it opens up a little spot, hits underneath that, hits underneath that, hits underneath that, hits underneath that, and it does seem to create some space underneath them. And as everything else around you is going slow, you watch as the debris is flying through the air at slow motion as you have hit. The halfling's body will decreasingly fall as the hole is being created slowly. And you watch as the pieces are sort of flying towards a direction, and actually is flying towards Fizzi and Obi. But the debris is going very slow currently. But her body is falling into the little hole to have a chance to pull them. Who is trying to pull them?
What do we need to use to pull them? A roll.
Athletics. It'd still be athletics. But you're pulling the person out from a free space rather than a beam being held by multiple structures.
Not fucking Obi. Regular roll DM. Fizzi will try.
No, it'll still be advantage. You and Obi are both doing it together.
Let's go.
As this moment is created, Fizzi, you see the moment to sort of reach out and grab the halfling. Obi will reach down, and you guys will quickly pull. As you do, they are free from the structure. You see that their body is covered in pretty bad burns, as they were in there longer than expected. But you have gotten the halfling free, and the four of you can run your way out of the booth to safety. RaRa, you will watch as the four of them leave the booth, and there is now no longer any people in the booths. Do you choose to keep holding it up, or do you drop it after seeing that?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep holding it because I don't want it to spread to other tents before we can get help over here.
All right.
Also, it might encourage people to save their inventions. So.
Correct. If you could, please, RaRa, you are the one who yelled out for someone to get a bucket of water or a fire extinguisher invention. Mm-hmm. Just roll a D100.
Okay.
RaRa, as you watch them leave the booth, you sort of turn to like yell out again one more time, someone, and as you turn, you see Lady Yasha riding in on a horse along with 2 other guards riding on horses who are dragging something behind them. And you notice it's actually not being dragged. Something is floating behind them. And as they ride up to the booths, you will watch as with like a flick of her finger, maybe? You're not quite sure. You watch, maybe it was just a command, but the 2 guards will unclip something, and you will watch as something flings from the from what the horses are dragging or carrying or whatever it was. It flings in the air, and you watch as not water, some sort of cloud-based thing hits the flames and extinguishes them, as there is now a ploof of like white smoke that rises into the air, and the flames subside slowly, as because also while you're doing that area, the stuff that they're throwing slows down as it hits the fire as well. But if you stop it,
yeah,
yeah,
I'll drop it once it hits.
Yeah, you'll drop it and then essentially fire extinguisher, but like a catapulted version. It will hit the engulfed booths and it'll hit the engulfed booths, and there'll be just this huge area of white smoke that rises into the air. The guards will stay on their horses. Lady Yasha will stay on her horse and turn and come to sort of the area and sees that you were the one holding that spell. And also notices Kayth, Fizzi, Obi, and the halfling sort of assesses the situation fast and says, points at one guard and says, "This one needs medical attention," and then points at the other guard and says, who else do we got?
They're talking about the halfling with the burns?
Yeah, and then points to the other guard and says, you help with first aid, and then Lady Yasha will descend her horse and head towards you, RaRa, as you were the one currently like standing in the middle, holding the drone, and she will look to you. Do you know what's happened here?
I just got here myself, but I can do something about that, and I'll point at the halfling with Obi and Fizzi and Kayth.
Well, then hurry, go right ahead.
I sort of spin up and will pull off some of the stardust that's still flowing around from the slow spell, and I'll put my hand on her back and do a 2nd level cure wounds.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you'll do that, and you'll watch as the starry wisps sort of like fall down to her body, almost like watching. I almost like to sort of envision this as, you know, like when you can see like a comet shower, or meteor shower. That's sort of what it looks like when you heal. The stars sort of turn into meteors and go all over the person's body, and you'll watch as all the like 3rd degree burns will heal and her skin will go back to normal. And they will sort of, their eyes will open.
Thank you.
And Lady Yasha will come over and put her hand on your shoulder. Great job.
Thanks. I got this. And I'll hold out the drone with the arrow in it.
She'll take the drone and take a look at it. It's got some nice craftsmanship to it. I'll see if I can't find somebody who's an expert in this and can investigate it. And then looks down and says, looks down and says, "Hi, Fizzi. Oh, a Fizzbang? Do you mind taking a look at this?"
Oh, not at all. And
I shot it out of the sky.
You did. It was a really good shot.
It looks like a good shot.
Thank you.
Moss, are you okay over there? Does anybody need help healing?
No, they're all fine.
Is that a straight roll, DM, for investigation?
Yeah, you're just doing a quick once-over. Give me an investigation.
That was a fucking 16 before it was a 16. I'm
It was
just
a
saying
16
that.
before it was a 16. I was
But I got a
16
16.
before I was a 16. Well, excuse me. Fizzi. This drone design, it's not one of yours, but it is of a Fizzbang design in casing. Actually, it's almost very intently supposed to look like a Fizzbang's. And you will notice that the gyro...
I told you.
The gyro that Kayth shot... Again, it's all like Fizzbang design, but you can see that the gyro itself has been sabotaged in some way with the runic symbols that are supposed to be on the gyro. Some of them are specifically wrong and suggest sabotage in some way. Or that this was meant to dysfunction. Meant to dysfunction? Meant to dysfunction. No, that's what I meant to say.
That's not function correctly. Meant to
Plan to go wrong.
Correct, as though it was planned that this was supposed to go, like, this was supposed to go haywire. Like, its purpose was to do so.
Well, this looks like something that Fizzbang made, but if you look at these symbols here, they're wrong. It was meant to act like this. Meant to do what it did, go haywire. So somebody... Oh, sorry, RaRa.
So this is more stolen parts then? Or salvage parts?
DM, is this in any way related to a Tin Whisperer?
No, like I said, it's not one of your designs, but it's a Fizzbang design.
Would I remember which Fizzbang designed it?
Your father. But the
Oh, the
gyro is of Sparkplug's design.
This gyro with spark plugs. Whoever did this did a good job making a fake.
Mm.
But,
She'll reach down and...
Fizzi's mind.
God.
A fake? I mean, they stole a ton of your plans. They couldn't have gotten what they needed from the plans they stole.
When we get back there later tonight, I want to see if you can help me see if anybody else's designs have gotten copied.
Okay.
Lady Yasha will reach down and grab the drone. Thank you, Fizzi. We'll have
Thank
some
you,
more
Lady
people. We'll have some more people take a look at the tech and see if they can't confirm what you've said. But I tend to trust the Fizzbang, so I'll take what you've said into consideration, of course. And
I have a question.
A guard
Thank
will
you.
come
That'd be
up
fun.
and she gives it to the guard and says, "Take this to evidence." Essentially, looks back. You say, "I have a question." Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, Fizzi, that was shooting the nets?
Yes.
Did that also do the fire, or did the fire come from someplace else?
Lady Asha will look over, and she is assessed in many of crime scenes. We'll take a look. Well, it seems like the nets got into this booth here. Yes, your booth. I have to assume you work in a lot of alchemicals? Yes, I do. I assume most of them are flammable? Yes. So probably what happened is the nets hit this booth and caused the fire.
So the fire was just an accident.
It seems so. But I would have to assume that not all of this was just an accident, but a way to create some sort of hysteria. But only time
I
will
just
tell.
look at Fizzi. Told you.
But every avenue will be looked at, and we will investigate a little bit further into the drone you found. Hopefully, this is just a accident and a one-off, and we won't need to worry about something like this again. These do tend to happen during these sort of conventions. There's never not a convention where something goes awry. But you're saying this was specifically sabotaged. Like I said, I will have some investigators look into that and try to validate that. And as long as they can, then we should be awesome. Thank you all for your help here. And she'll sort of look at you all. You're Fizzi. So that must mean you all are the Stormbreakers, am I correct?
Wow, she knows our name.
Yeah, that is us.
You're the ones who just recently took down a elemental beast during the festival in Tapas, am I correct?
That's correct.
She looks around at the area, sees that essentially everybody is safe and not harmed. Great job.
Thank you, Lady Asha.
Well,
Yeah, you don't have anything to worry about with us in town.
Well, I wouldn't say that, just in case anything were to go wrong.
well, I hope so.
Lady Asha, might I be able to speak with you later about something?
I'm sure I could find some time for you heroes. You could
Thank
meet me. You could meet me in the barracks. Actually, sorry, I'll be doing a lot of meetings in the Tide Hall. You can meet me in the Tide Hall later today if you'd like.
Thank you.
She will mount her horse and ride off into the distance. And that is where we'll end.
Oh.
What? Do you have something bleeding you need to say?
Yeah, well, it was just gonna be funny.
Go ahead.
So we set the halfling up. She's okay, get her some water from a water skin.
Okay.
And RaRa will go over to Obi and be like, "What took you so long? You get performance anxiety?"
Obi will go and point at Moss.
What?
She was cutting people out of nets,
I
Obi.
did something. You didn't do anything. We're gonna use you for parts soon.
We got them out of there. That's all that matters.
Obi goes into sad mode.
He pointed his finger at me first. You all saw that.
Sable is very much on your shoulder like,
Yeah, Sable. We can take that robot.
does a little flex.
Sable, you and I are gonna have words later. I need to talk to you in private.
Hello.
Did you say Sable?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Then
she
that
can ride off on her horse.
that is where we'll end tonight's session of Coralthea Waking Fates. Thank you all for joining us for this exciting episode.